I'm officially live. All right, cool. So, recap. As we saw last night, really late last night, we made a whole bunch of the berry bowls. So, they're not dry enough yet to be able to trim and put the holes in. So, we are going to make a bunch of sponge holders today. 10 or 12 of them. Since they seem to go and people like them, that's what we're going to do. So we'll get set up here. So how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. Get my chat up here. All right. Okay. There we go. Need to turn this down. Okay. Looks like we're good. Except I need to plug the wheel in. It's the same plug that shares my dehumidifier. So let me go plug that in a while. And we'll get started making some sponge holders. There we go. All right. The wheels are plugged in. Okay. Hopefully I have enough bats. 1, 2. Wow, I have just enough. All right. Good enough. Okay. This is some really fresh clay. It's quite soft. I feel like my wheel is too low for me. I never did readjust it since I brought it back from the show that I was at. Let me lower my chair a little bit here. Clean my hands up and lower my chair. All right, where's my chair? Yeah. It's all right. Oh, my nose itches. All right. Hey, Naughty, how you doing? Good to see you in here. I am doing great. Hope you're doing good. Okay. Come in there a little bit. Getting in your own shop for a bit. Awesome. Have you been doing lives? I'll have to look. Can't remember if I saw that you went live at all, but yep, I go live quite a bit. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna check you out then. I gotta check see if my notifications are right. Typically, all the crafters and people that are the makers, basically, you know, that are making stuff by hand. I like to follow all of them, and I usually click the all notification bell. That way, I get notified when they go live. I find that if I don't do that, I don't get notified. It seems like YouTube just decides who they want to notify, and that's just kind of weird. I don't know. But if I hit the all, I get notified, it seems like. So. All right. You did great work. So thank you. I appreciate it. I've been doing this for quite a while. But I always tell everybody that I get my gift from God. And I really feel that way. Need to make these a little bit bigger than my past ones I've made. These are sponge holders for the corner of your sink in your kitchen. And I found that people like to put more than sponges in here. They like to put their utensils in here and stuff like that to dry. So I'm trying to make these a little bit larger than I typically do to accommodate people using them for different things, you know. All right, there we go. It's a little bit taller, it's a little bit wider. There we go. All right. Clean up this mess down here. And then I put a little funnel here, a little spout, so the water drains right back into the sink. Just like so.
Carrie, she said these tablecloths will work.
All right. All right, and there it is. How long have I been doing pottery? So I've been doing it for over 20 years now. Well over 20 years. So there you go. That's a sponge holder. These things do shrink 12.5%. So I always got to make sure I make them larger. But there you go. There's my classic sponge holder. Always managed to get clay on my pants leg. Now I'm going to do this. All right. Okay. What kiln setup that I use? So I have a Scott kiln. It's a 1012, I think is what it's called. So I go, everything's fired to a cone 6. I bisque fire to a code 04. But if I fire to a cone 6, it's about 2300 degrees. It's not quite 2300, but I always say it's 2300 because most people don't really care that I'm that close with my number. So anyhow, it's a little under 2300 degrees. It is stoneware clay, so it's made to take quite a bit of heat. Yes? No. That's my wife talking to me. Holler down the steps. She doesn't even know I'm live. But my kiln is electric kiln. A 1027, that's what it is. 1027. But anyhow, let's move this in. Great to watch. For a bit, gotta run, get ready for my own shop. All right. Great to see you in here. You have a great live. Right. I don't know if I remember cutting the other one off or not. I probably didn't. I might need to put the other one back on just so I can cut it off the wheel so it dries properly. There's a sponge holder. Yeah, I didn't cut it off. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Let's cut it off. It always helps if you cut them off a little bit. There we go. Another sponge holder. There's two. Want to make at least 12 of these things as quick as I can. Gotta get my kiln loaded up. Got another big show coming up at the end of June. So I'm going to make sure I have plenty of product. All right. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Feel free to ask. Clay is so soft right now. It moves like butter. So I'm trying to be careful with it so I don't force it too quickly. Calm down. Calm down. There you go. Looks a little bit better. Okay. Make sure my thickness feels about right. Even though the clay is very wet right now, I need to make sure the wall is cut the proper thickness. There we go. I'll put my little spout on it so the water runs back into the sink. Support that clay. There we go. Just like that. Put up some water spots. There we go. And that one is complete. Put them up here. Now we gotta make sure you don't fall off either. All right, that should be good. So hopefully everybody's doing good on a Sunday afternoon. I'm just trying to get some product made. Thought I'd do a live so everybody can watch as I make some of my products. You got to make some butter bells yet. Hope everybody's doing good today. All right. I'm going to put this spout in here right now. I think it's going to make it a little bit easier. That's going to be the spout that the water will drain back into the sink once I get the centerpiece done. All right. And we're going to open this up. Fish on Earth, good to see you. Thank you for saying hi. I don't want the top to go out too far. Try to get every bit of clay I can in that wall to come up. Just like that. Clean up the inside, take the excess water out of it. Takes the water out of the drain here. It's already running out, which is awesome. So this is called a sponge holder for a quarter of your kitchen sink. All right, so you'll get a hole in here. So when you put your sponge in here, scrubby pads, whatever, or even you can put utensils in here that are dry, all the water will run down and right back out into your sink. It's funny, in the past show I was at, people didn't know what this thing was. They've never seen one before, which is pretty cool. Which is pretty cool. That means not too many people are making them, I guess. I don't know. I just come up with, a way of doing them and just been making them because I felt there was a need for it. I see people with these skinny, small, flat, little ones in the corner of their sink, or they don't have nothing, and this just kind of keeps the mess contained in here. So it just made more sense to me, which is usually how I come up with things, that just there needs to be something there, find a need and create the thing that cures the problem. Okay, another sponge holder. All right, put him right up there. There, that's good. All right, there's 4 of them so far. So I cone up like this to help get any air pockets that are in the clay out. It's a way of wedging on the wheel to get the clay platelets to lay in a certain direction. So it helps with centering, and it helps with the overall shape once you start creating it. I've seen many potters not even cone up at all. And I guess it really depends on your technique, you know, what you're used to doing, what you feel your clay needs to have done. If you wedge your clay before you put it on your wheel, you probably really don't have to do that. But I find myself cutting my clay strictly from the block that I get from the clay company. And so this is a form of wedging for me. Anthony, great to see you in here. Thank you for saying hi. But yeah, so it's a form of centering, keeping things, you know, going the right direction. This clay is so soft right now, you can't really force it too much or it will just go completely out of control. So it's just very, very soft. It's very soft. And very pliable at this point. So you have to be careful with it. Apply even amounts of force on this thing to shape it. Don't want to go super fast with your wheel either. All right. So now that I got the bottom done, I will put a spout on it. While I'm here, I'll go ahead and start making the cup portion of this sponge holder. All right. Just clean up the bottom a little bit. Let's see if I can get this to my final shape. There we go. I think that's pretty well it. I think that's pretty good right there. Let's clean up the bottom here a little bit, get some of the clay and the water out of there. Like that. All right. There we go. I gotta clean this up. I think it likes it better when I do the spout last. That's what I'm getting from this, is that it was easier to do the spout last. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing next, is doing the spout last. What did I do with my sponge? There it is. It decided to go in the water bucket. All right, so clean this mess up here, since I made a mess out of my piece. Clean this up, get all the excess water off of it that I can. All right. Clean the water out of the inside. Okay. I like a little spiral down there if I can put one in. All right. Pretty nice. A little bit of water here. I want to clean up. Okay. Clean this up a little bit so it looks nice. And I'll clean up even more actually when it's a little bit more dry. It's a little difficult at this point to get it perfect, but just checking the side once more. Just making sure I got all the clay I can to bring up. And the side should be nice and even. Okay. Cut it just like that. That releases it from the wheel a little, or from the bat a little bit, and then when it dries, it helps to come right off the bat. There we go. And another one. Put him back there. I like to wipe my wheel right after done making the piece. Helps keep the mess down a little bit. Hopefully this is relaxing for everybody. It's relaxing for me. Okay. Get another bat. Never even threw on this side yet, I don't think. I don't see any clay spots. Some of these bats were brand new, so. All right. Again, coming up, put a little tilt on my clay as I bring it back down. That helps compress the clay, get it going in the right direction for me, and it forces any air pockets out as well. And that's pretty good. You can kind of feel the clay if there's any air in it. Now I'm going to press and compress to the wheel head. To keep it centered. I'm going to bring in center portion of the clay like so. That's going to be the trough. So I'm going to shape that right now, but I'm not going to put the little spigot on it just yet because it seems like it goes easier if I don't do that. So I'm just going to do this. Clean the wheel up a little bit, bat up a little bit like that. Now let's form the center part. So go ahead and plunge in, keeping everything centered while I do it. Now I'm going to do is grip the clay with this hand and start bringing it up just with the one hand, pinching my fingers together, moving the clay up like that. Okay? And keeping it centered at the same time. Now I'm going to move my fingers from the inside out. I'm going to push out a little bit. As you can see right there, I pushed it out. Now I'm going to move slowly up. I'm going to guide and thin that clay as I'm moving up. Move it slowly. Just like that. Got a little dry on me, so I had to stop. The clay gets dry in your fingers, it'll stick. And then you start getting the whole wobble thing going on. So you want to try to keep the pot wet as you're throwing. Let's see if we can get our shape that we need to have here. There you go. There's the shape that I'm looking for. The clay's thinned out enough now. I'm going to bring this up straighter a little bit. Keep my hands wet while I do this. Now I'm just going to double check my thickness of my clay. Going up, and then I'll also make a slight adjustment to the shape. And there you go. That's what I have. Compress the edge a little bit. Like that. I use the web of my fingers, here to go around and clean that edge up. Some people use a chamois, a piece of leather, to go around the edge, which is just as good. But I found that the webbing in my fingers, like that, between my fingers, actually works just as well. So that's how I do it. All right. We got that where I want it. Everything looks good. So we're going to clean this bat up a little bit before I pull the spout out from the bottom. Okay. Take my finger and slide it back and forth like this, stretching the clay out. Take my other two fingers on either side and make yourself a little spout, and that's what that looks like. That's for the water to go right back into your sink. And that's how a sponge holder is made. All right, so we're going to release the clay from the bat right now, but we will not pull the piece off the bat. At this point, we're going to let it dry, and it will, this helps release when it dries. All right. And just like that. Here's our sponge holder. Okay. All right. We got what? 6 of them done. Awesome. I only have like 6 more to do. Okay, get another back. Okay. Wet the wheel head just a little bit. Helps the clay to stick. My clay. Beat it up a little bit, wake it up. Wake it up a little bit. There we go. Cone it up again. Feel a little bit of air pockets in there. I want to get them out. And this doing wedging, coning your piece up and down like this will help get those out. And they're slowly coming out too. Yeah. I think they're out. All right. Let's compress this clay. There we are. We are compressed and centered. Now we're ready to start moving our clay to make it shape the way we want it to be shaped. All right. So I'm trying to form the bottom right now for the trough. Little excess clay there. Okay. Clean the bottom up a little bit. This is the time to do this if you're going to do it because you have easy access to it. I'm going to compress this rim down. Just like that. Compress it down. Okay. Just kind of compressing the whole edge. All right. Now let's make our centerpiece. All right. There we go. Nice even sides. Make sure I'm wet enough. And start moving this clay out the shape I need to have it. Again, keeping the same thickness all the way up. It's very important that you keep your clay thickness the same. You don't want to have it too heavy at the bottom. You don't want to have it too heavy at the top, It helps for even drying of the piece. Less problems with cracking when it starts to shrink and dry out. All right. Again, just wetting my piece up a little bit. Just going to check my walls again. Maybe adjust the shape just a little bit to the way I want to see it. Just like that. And we're going to get the excess water out of here. Get the excess water out of the trough that I created. Okay. Clean this up a little bit. If there's excess water on your piece, what will happen is it won't dry as fast in that area, which could lead to uneven drying. So you want to try to get as much water off of it as you can, much slip as you can off of the piece. A lot of times you'll see a potter take a metal rib and scrape the side, which will get some of the slip off the side of the piece. All right, now I'm going to do the spout. Make my hands wet a little bit. Create the spout that will allow the water to go back into the sink, just like that. And cut it off the wheel, or release it off the bat at least, so it dries nice and even, just like that. And there you go, sponge holder. All right. Oh, hey, Leah. No worries, Leah. Glad to see you're in here. It's a pretty quiet day right now. I've got 5 more to make. Good enough. That will work. Yep, holiday weekend for sure. You like the sponge holders? Yeah, I think I needed more of them. That's why I'm making them. The berry bowls weren't dry enough, so I decided to make some sponge holders because they need to be done. So might as well get them done. Got to make sure I got plenty for the show. I got lots of mugs made. So all right, let's compress that clay, center it up, just like so. Yeah, it wasn't enough time for them to get to dry up. So I like to have them released from the vat, and they just weren't at that point yet. So they're in the background still drying. So it's okay. I got plenty of things to work on. There's no shortage of things to make. I also got to make some butter bells. They're a little bit harder to make. I mean, they're not harder. They just take a lot more time. There's just two pieces, and then both the pieces have to fit together. So try to make all of them the same so that if I ever have one break or something like that on me, or I always have a lid or a bottom to go to match up with it. So. All right, we're going to compress this rim, this little edge. Yeah, I have actually put a fan on pieces already, but I don't like to do that if I'm not going to be here. You know, I like to keep an eye. If I put a fan on, I have to keep an eye on them. I can't let them get too dry too quickly. This piece must have been super soft. It just flew out there. I wasn't expecting that to happen so quickly. But they came right from the bag, so this clay is wet as wet could be. So there we go. That's perfect. So Leah, you ready for your debate? There we go. Okay. One more to make. Okay. All right. Moving right along. I dropped my phone. What did I miss? Oh, I got a couple more pieces done. So you ready for your debate, Leah? You think so? I could debate abortion with my eyes covered, hands behind my back. Just hope I don't do anything goofy and embarrass myself. You'll be all right. You got your facts together. You know, like you said, you know your facts like the back of your hand. So you got this. What time is it? Is it 3:30? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to show everyone. That's why I'm way worse today. Yes, you are, Leah. You definitely are. You're very good at it. If I had to go up against you, Leah, in a debate, I'd probably be a bit nervous. I'd probably have to be studying my facts. Because I'd be afraid I was going to forget them. But you're very good at it. Very, very good at it. You always know what you're talking about. Well, thank you. Man, I wish my nose would stop itching. Man, it's constant. It's allergy season, I can tell. All right. I know I cut it off, but it looks like it's settled. There we go. Just to be sure. Just in case I forgot. All right. Gotta run to the store, but okay, cool. Take care, Leah. I'll hear from you again. I will watch you tonight. There you go. Is a sponge holder for the corner of your sink. If you're wondering what that is, thank you, Leah, for putting that up there. All right, there we go. This clay's so wet. I'm just gotta be careful. Oh my goodness, my nails. Don't stop itching. Trying to get all the water off of it. Thank you, Leo. Yeah, the clay's too wet. It can be easy to throw, but then you have to be so careful when you start going higher and your piece is getting thin. You just have to be extremely careful, because if your hands get a little bit dry, that piece is just going to go way off center, and you're done. You know. So there we go. And that piece is finished as of now. It will have to have a hole put in it so the water drains out from the inside to the outside and into the sink. All right. Awesome. That was a little bit wider than some of them, but that's okay. It's all right. They're not all going to be exactly the same. That would be a boring life. You make a piece of pottery, it's kind of like people, you know. They're all a little different, you know. Thank God that he didn't make us all the same, with the same personalities and all. Well, that'd be boring, wouldn't it? That would be super boring. All right. I have one more piece of clay here to make one of these. That means I got 12. I'd have 12 of them done, which is kind of awesome. Makes me think I need to do more berry bowls, which I got a slew of them back there, but you just never really know how many are going to sell. The sponge holder things they were selling, so making 12 of them is very beneficial. I just don't want to have a table full of them. So some of these won't even be unpacked until I start selling, and then I'll get more out. Going shopping, getting food and stuff. Cool. Well, you have a great day, Leah. And I will watch you tonight when you're on. Can you send me the link of that channel in my hey, you text me if you want. Because you're not on your channel, I don't think, right? So unless you've already sent it to me, then I'm sorry. I'll check the text. You may have already sent it to me and I just forgot. Okay, cool. Okay. There we go. Oh, hey, Sabrina. How you doing? You just caught the end of the live. I just saw you. You just caught the end of it. This is my last piece of the day. Well, not the day, but of the live, at least. I have to go to Lowe's with my wife, and then I'll come back and do more work. But I wanted to get these 12 sponge holders done. And I thought I'd just go ahead and just do it live. Maybe I'll do another live tonight. I don't know. We'll see what happens. See what I get into. I have some berry bowls that I do have to finish up tonight because they'll probably be dry enough that I can take them off the bat and finish them completely. So I might do a live tonight if that's the case, and then everybody can watch me do that. Since I don't really show that very often, but anyhow, there you go. That's the last one of the sponge holders that I needed to do. That's 12 complete. But Sabrina, you want to, you can go back and watch. It's a bit repetitive because that's the only thing I was making right now is the sponge holders. So I had 12 of them to do. So no notification. Ah, geez. Well, I'm not a big channel, so it doesn't surprise me. It don't surprise me because this channel is not getting out there very far. Now, I'm not very consistent on my lives either, but oh well, it is what it is. This channel. I'm not here to make money. I'm here for my fans. The people that love to watch me and see me every once in a while. That's why I'm here. That's really the only reason why I'm here. So you speak on God too. I do. I do speak on God all the time. So He is my savior. So hopefully He's yours. For everybody out there in YouTube land. But yeah. So there's 12 of them. I got to get myself moving. I told my wife 4 o'clock, and it is 4 o'clock. So I timed that just about right. You know what I mean? All right. Here's a view of what I did. Again, thank you all for watching, and we will catch you later. God bless.